I was recently having a conversation with a patient during their session, and I was just talking to them about the work that I do in my career and how I travel and bounce around every few months. And they said something along the lines of like, wow, that's a really cool and interesting career. So being that you move around so much, like what's your 5-year plan? Like how do you possibly plan for the future when you're just so mobile? And it's been so long since I've been asked something like that. So it literally made me stop and just think for a very long time, because I don't have a 5 or even 10-year plan. And at 32 years old, that's either incredibly irresponsible or it's the reason I'm happier than I've ever been. And even though it's been a long time since I've heard that question, it's always felt like such a loaded and hard to answer one for me, because I understand it. There's a lot of pressure and expectation to have everything mostly together or figured out by the time you reach like 30, and I'm 32 now. There's this societal expectation of being like pretty firmly planted in your career and working towards a family if you don't already have one, maybe even with like multiple kids. And I get that. But I've always just thought it was damn near pointless to have such a strict idea of what you want to do or where you want to be in like 5 years. Because I feel like you can honestly never know when something is just going to come and mess up all of your plans. The thing is, I don't have a 5-year plan. I honestly barely have a 1-year plan. And I hope that doesn't make me sound crazy, but I truly don't even know where I'm going to be in 1 year. I honestly don't even know where I'm going to be in like 3 months. And that's one, because of the job that I do and the fact that I can travel and be in so many different places so often. But I've also never really been afraid to just get up and leave a situation that I'm not happy in. And I'm very, fortunate, blessed, lucky, however you want to say it, to have the opportunity and the flexibility of a job that allows me to do something like that. And I feel like I should take advantage of that, and I do. There's really just nothing that makes you feel more lost and strange than having a plan and achieving the goal at the end of that plan and realizing the end or the goal that you work so hard towards is just not the thing that you really want to do. Again, that was me before I started doing travel work, and I thought I'd be satisfied just being in one place for years at a time and doing the same thing every day. And I learned very quickly that I did not like that. And I spent so much time and so many years working towards that. It just felt like that's what I was supposed to do. And eventually I made a change. And because I made that change, I'm just so much happier now. And now I feel a lot less inclined to feel like I have to have these exact plans to feel like I'm succeeding in life. And I have to admit, the older I get and the further along I get in my 30s, the more pressure I do kind of feel like I need to have some sort of solid plan. I do, and I understand that it's just a societal norm or the societal pressure to feel like you need to have things together by a certain age. And sometimes I fall for that. I love my life and I love the type of life that I've been able to build for myself. But sometimes I do wonder if I'm really setting myself up for success and comfort like 5, 10, 30 years down the road. When I think of a 5-year plan, I think of like a very specific singular destination that you're supposed to end up at. But I don't think I work in that way. I don't think I operate in just my main goal being a single destination. I operate by knowing the things that are the most important to me, my values. I know what matters most to me. I know what matters most to me in this moment of life is freedom over just perceived stability, and intentional decision making where I can decide what I want to do with my time and where I want to be, as opposed to just automatically set ones as a part of a plan. And being able to do all that while still having like a good quality of life and being able to save and invest money and making sure that I have like a little something when I finally decide to settle in one place. That's exactly where I want to be right now. And I can't tell somebody exactly what I want to do or where I'll be in 5 years, but what I can tell them is the kind of life that I want right now. I mean, I don't have like a complete vision over exactly what steps come next in my life. I do have goals and I have rough ideas and I have this broad general direction that's going to help me achieve those goals. But most importantly, I have, again, these values that act as a compass that help direct and guide the things that I want to do. But over time, I've realized that this kind of clarity of just knowing what matters most to me and trusting myself to respond to whatever challenges come my way and to be able to capitalize on whatever opportunities come my way. In my opinion, that's just way more useful than having this super specific plan that I would probably just abandon when life doesn't go the way I want it to. Because in my mind, a 5 or a 10-year plan is just one path. I feel like for now, in exchange for like a strict plan and the stability that comes with that, I have just a lot more freedom, and right now, that's what's most important to me. The freedom to kind of be where I want and to do what I want right now. And I don't know if it's just like a childlike wonder or a childlike dream of mine, but usually things just tend to work out the best for me when I have faith that things will work out. Like, I just feel like as long as I continue living the life that I want, Eventually I'll find my way. Eventually I'll find the place that feels like home, and eventually I'll maybe find the person that feels like home too. And I just have a lot of faith that life is gonna work out for me like that. And it's so interesting because I feel like I know exactly what I want to do, and I just don't know when all these things will happen in my mind. Like, I love my job and I enjoy what I do as a physical therapist, but I don't know if I exactly want to be like patient facing for the rest of my career or exactly when I want this to happen. I love doing traveling. I love the traveling that I do for my job, but I don't know if that's something that I can do or am going to want to do forever. Eventually, I know I'm going to want to settle, but I don't really know where. And I really enjoy this YouTube thing, and I would love for it to become somewhat profitable in some way while still enjoying making videos that I make, but I just don't know if that's ever going to happen. And I don't think that anybody else that doesn't have a 5-year plan is lazy or unprepared, because again, as long as they know what's most important to them and the things that they want to accomplish and they're actually working towards it, it's okay if things don't work out exactly the way that they want, because that's just life. I used to think that not having a plan meant that I was like behind and unfocused. Now I really just think that it means that I was honest enough with myself to admit that I don't want to just end up in the same destination that everyone else is moving towards. So yeah, I don't have a 5-year plan, but I have something better. I have a clear sense of what matters to me, and I have enough trust in myself to be able to handle and respond to whatever comes my way next. So now let me ask you, what do you say if someone asks you what your 5-year or 10-year plan is? Do you have like an exact framework or just like rough ideas like I do? I really don't think there's a right answer here, but I am interested in hearing what you all do. And if you think that you're maybe a little too strict with your plans and you're focused on being more productive than actually doing the things that make you happy, maybe you should check out this video right here next. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.